Insane turnout today. Like we said, this is tied for a record. We had 130 folks in our weekly today. So keep it locked on T-Lock. We have a long night, but it's going to be rewarded with some great matches. Mew² versus Mind. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Mind on stream. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it has.
I remember he was around. But he's part of the Arlington crew, if I remember correctly. That's why you're going to be seeing Phenom, Calm Animal in the background, kind of cheering on their boy.
Yeah.
And he was around back whenever my old roommate Aggro was pretty consistently competitive, but since then has kind of taken, I think, maybe a bit of a break or a hiatus from competing. But someone who has been so consistent and who has been leveling up so much over these past couple of months has been Mew². One of the best Mewtwo mains in the world, in my opinion, and especially with these buffs, I'm really, really scared of what he's going to be doing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the buffs definitely help, but I think overall just the strength of the player himself is what really makes the difference here. Mew², you know, doing very, very well in the DFW area, doing pretty well outside of it too. Had some pretty good matches against ESAM out at TGC. Had very, very good games out at Super Bit Wars.
Yeah, nearly took the whole thing, actually.
Yes.
But, you know, taking out Mewtwo King 2 sets in a row, that's not too bad.
That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And getting 2 of those fairs in a row is pretty good as well. Not only does it put on a nice amount of damage, but it grants a great amount of stage control as well. And that's where Mew², I think, is so scary. It's his presence on stage and off stage. Right there, on stage. That was the disable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little disable, that down B, and then that nearly fully charged up smash is going to be stealing away that first stock from Mind.
Yeah, the disable is actually really, really difficult to land because not only is the hitbox relatively small, but your opponent does have to be facing you. So even if they just turn around and completely, like, it doesn't work at all. But whenever it does land, the rewards that you get from it are so big.
Now, Mewtwo did receive a slight weight buff in the most recent patch, but against a character like Ike, I'm not sure how much that's really going to matter. And wow, and Mew²'s just control really of this character is so evident in that last edge sequence that we saw from him. The way he's just able to slip around as he's recovering, kind of trip up Mind, very impressive.
Yeah, Mind kind of having a little bit of trouble actually getting something going. And this is percents where he can be killing a character like Mewtwo, even though Mewtwo has gotten a little bit away. It's not too much. It's still 74. It's still definitely a character that Ike can be KOing with a lot of his, like, you know, middling power moves. Because middling power for Ike is like huge power for any other character.
Big aerial coming out from Mind. See if he can maybe close out the stock. Mew², very similar avenue of approach there in regards to recovering onto the stage. I wonder if Mind's going to pick up on that later. Able to roll, getting around that up smash attempt. Now Mew², he has Mind, I think, at that percent where he's probably going to be looking for something like an up tilt into an up smash. But Mind finds the initial up tilt, and he's actually going to be taking a stock from Mew². So still an uphill battle, but Mind, he can come back if he's able to just kind of avoid some of the setups. But again, Mew², he doesn't just need the grabs. He can finish you with so many options. That empty hop was just so brilliant to set up for that fair follow-up.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to bait out the air dodge, but even with the jump up, the position that Mind was in afterwards is very, very difficult to get around. Yeah, I mean, he could have gone in like super deep on stage, but then he probably would have got clipped out by the Mewtwo back air. Very, very difficult to get around that move, considering how big the tail is and how far it swings. But yeah, Mew² doing a very good job adjusting on the fly and then switching to the forward air setup.
So now we're going over to game 2, and Mind switching things up actually to Battlefield, which is a bit of an intriguing pick, but I guess he wants to make the most of that higher ceiling that this stage grants him. The only issue I see with that maybe is just, again, how daunting Mew²'s offstage game is,
Absolutely.
right? We saw how good he can be on stage, but especially with these platforms aiding him, I can expect some really big combos coming out.
Yeah, speaking of 63%.
74, Sethon.
It's still going.
We're not done yet. It's Sesame Street. We're both playing the role of the Count right now as Mew² begins to decimate Mind's stock, but Mind maybe starting to answer back as well. That grab is going to lead into an aerial follow-up, and now this percent lead is going to be cut by quite a bit as Mind is starting to find his footing in this Mewtwo matchup.
Yeah, a little bit of impatience from Mew² there. Running full stage to set up the dash deck. Loses him a little bit of momentum, but... oh, again. Okay. Lots and lots of back and forths here. No player really getting too far ahead either way. Yeah, if there was one hole in Mew²'s game that I could talk about, it is that the dash tech is actually relatively unsafe on shield. And Mew² is often very quick to throw it out to try and pressure his opponent to try and get into their space whenever he doesn't actually have the momentum yet.
Right. And again, especially against a character like Ike, with such explosive KO potential, that can very well be the end of your stock. And now Mind able to maybe use that potential to just take this initial stock from Mew². But another great wave from Mew². He's so good at pressuring with those aerials. When you're in this seat next to him, you feel like you have to air dodge to survive, but it's almost always the nail of the coffin. Mew²! What a finish! That sequence off of the edge, again, just beautiful, beautiful play. That dare just so well spaced and well placed. What a finish.
That was quite the finish.
What a finish. Oh.